That's still better than a talk to a. Oh, absolutely the fuck not. Cancel it. Cancel talk to it. That's how we're gonna start this. We're starting this video by canceling talk to a. All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're gonna be doing stuff a little bit different here. I need more stuff to post other than music because I post that nonstop all the time, and I need stuff that other people are going to be into as well, which is why my channel has so much confusing stuff. So for today's video, we'll be looking at some of the worst murders ever done on Halloween to celebrate the best season of the year, spooky season, my favorite, Halloween. So if you're ready, grab you some snacks, get you a knife, stab the person next to you. Okay, so it's in no particular order, but these are murder cases that happened on Halloween. So let's go ahead and get into it because the Yoshihiro Hattori was a Japanese exchange student, was on his way. I don't know why I, for some reason, thought this was a female. Was on his way to a Halloween party. By the way, guys, Halloween parties are the absolute best. I just had my very first Halloween party at my own place for the first time in my life. It was a great time. I was really drunk. Yeah. Party with his friends, with his friend Webb. His name's just Webb.
Well, that's his last name, but that's what they call him, Webb. I think
that's a Halloween name for sure. They were dressed in their costumes. Did it say what the costumes were?
Yoshihiro was dressed up as John Travolta.
They were dressed in their costumes, ready to enjoy a night, and were searching for the correct house. They came across the number reading 10311. I don't know why that's important to this, but that's where the house address is. So if that's your house, you just got leaked on the internet for a good 1,000 subscribers to see, because I have no fans. The pair rang the doorbell, but received no answer. A woman opened the side garage door and locked them over. Oh my God. And looked them over. Oh my God. Only to slam the door when the boys attempted to approach her. The boys had started to walk away, realizing they might have went to the wrong house. When the door opened and a man appeared in the doorway holding a gun. Oh my God. Oh, they are dressed in costume, but it's not like they're in okay. First off, that's a little extra, all right? Pulling out a gun on some kids who are dressed up on Halloween night as John Travolta and a dude with a broken neck. If someone was at my doorstep, and especially on Halloween night, you're dressed up as a serial killer, I might have some concerns, but it's Halloween. Dude, whatever. Come on. It's just as, let me just shoot John Travolta real quick. All right, get out of here. Anyways, I already forgot how to say his name. Yoshihiro. I watch tons of anime and I don't the names. I just can't do it. Yoshihiro, either not realizing the man had a gun or thinking it was a Halloween prank, excitedly exclaimed, "We're here for the party." The man, identified as Rodney Pierce, shouted "freeze" and pointed the gun. Webb tried to warn his friend, as Yoshihiro spoke limited English, and possibly did not understand the man's command. He continued to approach. Oh, Jesus Christ. Rodney spotted something in the boy's hand, and thinking it was a gun, he shot him, in the chest before slamming the door shut once more. The object in the hand was only a camera.
Saw them and got
freaked out by John Travolta. All I can see in this scenario is John Travolta now with all of his Botox just at someone's doorstep freaking them out. It's just him just cropping his Botox face. Imagine that at your doorstep. Died in the ambulance from blood loss on the way to the hospital. Yoshi did. Wow. You said he was 16, right? Ronnie was initially questioned and then released. The police department stated that he had been within his rights shooting a trespasser. He was later charged with manslaughter after the Louisiana governor and Japanese council in New Orleans posted, that's right, he was a foreign exchange student, protested, but the jury found him not guilty. You know what? I want to talk about that because that's actually crazy. In Illinois, where we are from, if someone breaks into our house and we shoot them, AKA me, I own a legal gun. If I was to use that, someone breaking into my house, I go to jail. And if they sue me for doing it, they'll win. Anyways, however, Yoshi's parents filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Rodney, during which he was found liable to Hattori's, granting them $650,000. They used the money to establish 2 charity funds under Yoshihiro's name. One was used to fund a U.S. high school student who wanted to visit Japan. That's pretty cool. I want to go there. And the other was used to fund organizations that lobbied for gun control. I just can't get over. I just keep seeing John Travolta's face. I'm not laughing about this guy's death. Let's be honest here. This is a video about Halloween and scary things and murders. So you guys are about to learn I have a pretty twisted, sick, dark humor. That's what I have. Twisted, dark humor. 10131 is the house number they were looking for. 10311 is where they went. $650,000. That's it, though? What did it say what year this took place? So this happened in 1992. All right, the next one is the title of a very popular horror franchise, The Candyman, which if anyone's ever seen, I know you haven't seen. If anyone's ever seen Candyman, it's been a long time since I've watched it. I'm not going to lie. Anyone who's seen it, the guy's coat that he wears always gives me 50 Cent vibes. I don't know why. It gives me 50 Cent vibes. Just straight pimped out. All right, cool. So this one's called The Candyman. Ooh, it's spooky. Should I eat Candyman?
Do it.
Also, Candyman is probably got to be one of the easiest serial killers to survive from. He's the epitome of fuck around and find out, right? The only way to get Candyman, I can't remember exactly how it is in the movies. I think they have to say his name so many times or whatever. Just don't fucking do it. Just like Beetlejuice, fuck around and find out. How about you just don't? That's one horror movie I survive because I'm just not gonna fuck around and find out. I'm not Scooby-Doo. I'm not solving mysteries. I'm not doing it.
ASMR. Sort of tapping.
It's too big of a Tootsie Roll. How do people eat these Tootsie Rolls? This is way too big. Oh my God. It's too much. The little Tootsie Rolls are perfect. That's right. Size does fucking matter. The little ones are better. Oh my God, that was absolutely torture. I haven't had a Tootsie Roll in probably 3 years. I was going to say, because all these take place on Halloween, and I was talking about horror movies. If you made it this far in the video, comment your favorite horror franchise. Maybe I'll do some videos on that. Personally, my favorite is Friday the 13th and then Halloween. Those are my two favorites. Not that those movies are amazing, because to be honest, a lot of them are cheap, but they're great for what they are. I'm just kidding. In 1974, Ronald O'Brien, this dude owns a McDonald's. Get out of here. I know he owns a McDonald's. Ronald O'Brien attempted to murder 5 children. Succeeding in the killing only one. Okay, succeeding in killing only one of the 5. That being his own son. All right, this is wild. Ronald took his 8-year-old son, Timothy, 5-year-old daughter, and didn't put the name, and 3 other neighborhood kids trick-or-treating. All right, so he took 3 neighborhood kids, his son at 8 and his daughter at 5. Those are their ages, not at different times. Come on, guys, keep up. Took them trick-or-treating. Made it to one house, knocked and got no answer, so they moved on. Ronald stayed behind and caught up with other kids a few minutes later. Yeah, he gave all 5 of them a pixie stick, one for each kid. He claimed I know where this is going. He claimed he knocked again, and the homeowners answered and gave him the candy. Oh, this is about to get terrible. Later that night, Timothy asked for a piece of candy before bed. Ronald agreed, and Timothy chose the pixie stick. He ate the candy and complained it tasted bitter, so Ronald gave him Kool-Aid to wash it down. Timothy then started complaining that his stomach pain. I was waiting for that. And began vomiting and convulsing, just like me when I drink too much. He later died on his way to the hospital. The autopsy report found that he had ingested enough cyanide to kill 2 First off, enough cyanide to kill 2 grown men. Where did he get his hands on cyanide? That's what I always want to know. When these guys use things like cyanide and stuff, I'm blanking on what it's called. Fentanyl, the big one that everybody keeps lacing fentanyl in their fentanyl. Everyone keeps using all this crazy stuff. Where are they going to get this? It turns out Ronald had not knocked on the door and gotten the candy, obviously. He already had the pixie sticks, of course. He had packed first 2 inches of the pixie sticks with cyanides and resealed the packaging with a stapler. I feel like as a kid, I don't know, were they stapled? I feel like some of them had the little staples on the end. Maybe they were. Maybe the old, because pixie sticks were in paper at one time, and then they were in the plastic. Maybe that's why they changed it. 'Cause now I gotta know. Hold on. Because I'm not thinking the one where you dip those are dips. I'm thinking pixie stick, the powder. Yes. Okay, so the small ones are paper, the larger ones are made of plastic. I don't know if they had Oh, I'm thinking the staples because the large the large pixie sticks, they had the top part, the square with the logo that was stapled on.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
I see how it.
Yeah. So the cyanide and repackaging with staples. He was $100,000 in debt, unable to hold a job, and this man still got enough cyanide to kill 5 different kids with enough cyanide in each pixie stick to kill 2 grown men. Do the math. How? No wonder he was in debt. Stupid. He was 100,000 unable to hold a job. His car was about to be repossessed. He had neglected to pay numerous bank loans, and his house was being foreclosed. In the days leading up to the murder, Ronald had taken $60,000 of life insurance policies for both of his children. That's around $383,000 today. God damn it, we're gonna have to get into inflation there. Do the math. Do the fucking math, guys. Do the math. We're fucked. We're all screwed. I lied. Put your clothes back on. We're gonna talk about the economy collapsing. Have you seen those memes? All right. He poisoned the pixie sticks, of course, intending to kill the 2 children, claiming the life insurance money. What did he think they just weren't gonna do autopsies? That's what I'm getting at. Like, what the fuck? He gave it to the other neighborhood kids in the group. Oh, so covered up. Oh, he would have got away with it too if it wasn't for that dog and those meddling kids. I'm going to hell for this video. That's crazy. He really had a plan. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That's almost a solid proof plan. That's crazy.
How are you gonna know which house it came from?
That's the whole point. Yeah, you wouldn't. But here's the thing, though. Here's the other thing, right? It's almost a solid proof plan until the parents go, oh no, our kids and his kids died and they went trick-or-treating at the same houses. So now we got to wait for other kids that trick-or-treated in that neighborhood to die too that weren't with him. They would have linked it back to him anyways. Maybe not in the 70s, but it would now. Yeah, you got to think 70s and 80s was the time of the killers. That was killer central. Ooh. Yeah, people were getting murdered. I mean, in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, I think everyone was a murderer, let's be honest. With planning to blame the people who lived in the house that did not answer the door. He would claim the homeowners gave him the poisoned pixie sticks. That was proved false when police questioned the homeowners, obviously, and discovered they were not home at the time. And they never bought pixie sticks. Police later discovered Ronald had called/gone to various chemical supply stores asking where to buy cyanide. Okay, so this tells me. Just days leading up to the murder, he left without purchasing anything when he found out he would have to buy a minimum of 5 pounds. So you could just buy cyanide? Okay, I'm going to get through this story, and we need to look up how much cyanide is, because that is just crazy to me. He ended up actually getting cyanide. They never found where he got the cyanide from, but the police already had evidence anyway, so it doesn't matter. During the little do we know he actually got the pixie sticks from them, and he didn't kill these kids. During the trial, it only took the jury 71 minutes to convict him for the murder of his son and 4 counts of attempted murder of the other children, sentencing him to death by electrocution. Executed March 31st, 1984. So this took place in 71 and he died in 84. That's how long the death penalty takes. I think it's like a year or something for the death penalty or something, and they get their last meal. Here's the thing. Here's how you get out of the death penalty. If it's the electrocution chair, every single time they ask you for your last meal, you say you want to eat the chair. Then you eat the chair. Then they can't kill you because you ate the chair, so they have to then new chair because you ate the chair. So then the next time they go to kill you, they ask for your last meal, and what do? You eat the chair. And then they have to get a new chair, and you have to wait to kill you, and you get your last meal again, and what do? You eat the fucking chair. That's how you get out of it. You just keep eating the chair. You just got to keep eating that leather strap for the rest of your life, and you'll never die. That's how you get out of it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, sorry. That's actually crazy. I wanted to look up cyanide. I don't even know if I actually want to look this up in my browser search history, because if you die of cyanide, they're going to blame me. So do me a favor. Don't eat any candy from Halloween.
Poisoning myself.
All right, this is on video. You guys know why I'm looking up cyanide. Okay, hold on. Here's another thing. He had enough to kill 2 grown adults. How much cyanide do you need to even kill a person? Let me not type that in. Let me not type that one in. Potassium
I
cyanide.
looked it up. Help
Oh
is
my god,
available.
they have cyanide on Amazon.
Did you see that? Did you hear me? I looked it up. How much cyanide to kill somebody? First thing I see, help is available.
You know what's crazy is anytime you enter things like that into the computer, you get on a watch list. Do you know that? The police, it can pop up on watch list. Yeah.
What if I'm just a writer?
No, it's fine. It's fine. We have a video here to prove that we're not gonna fucking kill somebody.
Yeah.
At least with cyanide. I would never use cyanide as a means to kill someone. It's such an easy way to get caught. October 28th. So I'm gonna ruin this. Nootropics Depot Cyanide 3 glucoside capsules. So it's for glucose, but it's still cyanide.
This says greater than 3 milligrams generally result in death.
Jesus Christ. You heard it here first, folks. You could buy cyanide on Amazon, $50. Science laboratory grade potassium. They have all the chemicals you need for this. They have like all the chemicals you need for it. You could buy all of it on Amazon. Obviously, back then, that's not how it worked. That's crazy. Oh, this is the Liskey Family Massacre on Halloween in 2010. All right, we're getting there. Peter Griffin, just kidding, it says Devin Griffin. Devin Griffin came home from church on Halloween?
It wasn't Halloween night. But it's still Halloween.
But that's what I'm getting at. They be having church. What's a church ceremony like on Halloween? Is it just like, ooh, get rid of that demon, get rid of that? Like, is that what it is? Is that all? You know, they begin to stay like breaking it down. Ooh, get the devil out of here. What do you can only dress up as angels and they can't be slutty either? So what's the point of this? I'm just kidding. That's funny. Devin Griffin, goddammit. Came home from church, went upstairs to his room to play video games. I need to know what video game. 2010, what was the big game in 2010? Red Dead Redemption, 2010. God of War 3. So he went upstairs. After realizing he hadn't seen anyone around the house yet, he got up and curiously went downstairs into the master bedroom. Oh, wow, that's going to get wild. Where he saw his mother, Susan, and his stepfather, William, in bed with the comforter pulled over their heads. He tried to wake his mom, talking to her, tapping her legs, shaking her, blah, blah, blah. You know how that goes. No one responds. When he pulled the covers down, he saw her pillow soaked in blood. He initially thought it was a Halloween prank, honestly. He soon realized it wasn't and ran out of the house. Why do they always run out of the house? Well, I guess the killer could still be in there. And called his aunt Lori. Oh, God. Michael Myers.
Put this one in here because I was like, oh my God, it's real life Michael Myers. There's a Lori involved.
Yeah.
His whole family.
Yeah, family's dead. Lori's the only one who lived. Oh, Laurie Strode. Oh, shit. Who then called the authorities. It was discovered his stepbrother, BJ Lisk, was the culprit. His name was BJ. Of course he fucking turned into a murderer. Imagined his stepbrother Derek with both sides of a claw hammer. Okay, so he hit him with the other side of a hammer, the nail end. Then he shot his father, William, 5 times and shot his stepmother, Susan, 3 times while they slept in their bed. Here's the thing. You shoot 2 people who are asleep. Do you shoot one and then the other and then go back and forth? Or because if you shoot one, the other one's going to wake up. It's loud. Let me know what you would do. Comment down at the bottom. What makes more sense?
How do you murder people?
Yeah, how would you do it? Dear God, what the hell? I want to know why he did this. It was later revealed after a medical examination that Susan had been, the mother was raped, and whether it happened before or after the death is unknown. I hate to say it. It was probably after. Because if it was before, I feel like they would have seen like scratch marks and fighting and stuff. It was definitely probably after. BJ was arrested for the murders and was sentenced to life without parole. As he should. His sentence was cut short, however. He was found dead from self-infliction wound in the prison cell March 2015. So he was in prison for 5 years and killed himself. Well, probably less than that because trial, but I'd say 4 years probably. Dude, that one's crazy.
Yeah.
On Halloween night, so I wonder if this becomes like the movies then, like for example, Halloween, like they just hate the fucking holiday Halloween after this. Is that just how that works? But apparently, he had mental issues and the stepmom and then would get into lots of fights. And eventually, he attacked her, and the stepdad or the actual dad kicked him out of the house. He came back for revenge. All right, so this is the Toolbox Killers, plural, means there's more than one. All right, so the Toolbox Killers were two serial killers named Lawrence Bittaker, I know that last name for some reason, and Roy Norris. Unfortunately, not Chuck Norris. Everyone would have died in that scenario. Who were known for picking up female hitchhikers, kidnapping, raping, torturing, and murdering them. Holy shit, they did this to 5 teenage girls over the span of 5 months in 1979. So that's a girl a month. That's something that's why the movie, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre worked so well in the time period, is because back in the day, teenagers would just leave because there was no way to trace them down. And they were hippies, and they would go hitchhiking all the time. There are so many stories about this, and they would get murdered. That's Lawrence Bittaker. All right, so Lawrence Bittaker was an unwanted child. Oh, okay, this is going to get wild. Placed in an orphanage, and he was just a baby and was dropped off. You know, classic. They leave him on the doorstep. He had a history of crime early on, particularly with the habit of shoplifting, and beginning around the age of 12, he continued to build a minor criminal record throughout the next few years. He dropped out of high school at the age of 17. He was so close. And less than a year after doing so, he was arrested for car theft, so Grand Theft Auto, hit and run, and evading arrest. He was imprisoned at California Youth Authority until he was 18. He wasn't in there very long. But when he was released, he discovered his adopted parents had disowned him and moved states. You know what? Not a fucking shocker. Days after his parole, he probably blamed it on them too. Days after his parole, he was arrested again for stealing another vehicle. I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. What a fucking idiot. And transporting it across state lines. Yeah, no shit, dude. What the hell? Over the next several years, Lawrence was in and out of prison for the same reasons. Petty theft, burglary, and Grand Theft Auto, hit and runs, and etc. What the hell is this guy just doing drugs? And he probably was taking pills, stealing cars, get into an accident, get arrested, wake up the next day, forget that's what happened, get out of jail, and do it again. Like, well, how do you keep doing that? There's no way. What? That's crazy. Then in 1974, only a year after being released from prison, again, for probably the 12th time, I don't know, it doesn't have it on there, he was arrested for the assault. He was arrested for assault with attempted murder after stabbing an employee at a supermarket after they accused him of stealing. Stupid water cups. Lawrence was instead charged with assault with a deadly weapon and was finally sentenced. All right, so that's the background. Again, that's the background on Lawrence Bittaker. All right, Roy Norris. And if you're confused, again, all these happened on Halloween. He took all those cars on Halloween. He got all those hit and runs on Halloween. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Roy was also an unwanted child. Oh my God. They must have the same mom as me. Just kidding. His parents had him out of wedlock. Wedlock sounds like a dope ass transformer. Let's just be completely honest. Wedlock, he's definitely a Decepticon, and he's tearing it up. All right, and only married to avoid the stigma surrounding illegitimate birth. I guess this was the 70s. That makes sense. Did not consistently live with his parents. He consistently bounced around to different foster families, but claimed that he was often neglected by these families, and even said one family sexually abused him. They probably fucking did. A lot of lives as foster kids is torture. That's why it's very hard now to get foster kids, but it still fucking happens. After visiting a female relative while living with his parents, he made sexual segregations. Oh my God. Cut. He made sexual suggestive comments. She told his father, who threatened to beat him, and in response, Roy stole his family's car. What is it with these cars? And drove to the Rocky Mountains and attempted to kill himself. Oh my God. Roy dropped out of high school at the age of 17. Wow, they had the same story. And joined the Navy. Oh, wow. But was honorably discharged after one tour. What war would that have been? That wasn't Nam, was it? It would have been Nam. In 1969, Roy was arrested and charged with rape and assault with attempt to commit rape. That was how he got discharged, right? Yep. So it was in Nam. In February of the following year, he attempted to trick a woman into letting him into her home. Yeah, that you shouldn't have trusted him. And you should have had the bear. And when he refused, he tried to break into the house. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, the bear would have done the same thing. The woman was able to get a hold of the police and arrested him before he could do anything. He was later diagnosed with schizoid personality disorder. Okay, I was about to say, what is that? A disorder where people tend to lack interest in forming social relationships and characterized as emotionally cold. Okay, so it's what makes you a psychopath. Yeah, so it's what gets rid of like empathy and all that stuff. Yeah. Wow. Due to this diagnosis, he was discharged from the Navy. Not long after that, I don't know. I feel like in war, I don't know, because then you might kill your comrades too. Not long after, Roy attacked a female student at San Diego. Man, they just really hated females. In San Diego State University. It was also probably a power trip for them too. He beat her over the head with a rock several times, and as well as beating her head on the sidewalk. Jesus Christ. He was charged with assault with a deadly weapon, which was a rock, and sent to, I'm going to butcher this, Tascedro. Oh, God. Is there a way to make Siri read this? Atascadero State Hospital. What? Yeah, it was sent to a state hospital, classified as a mentally disordered sex offender. Got it. 3 months after his release in 1975 and being declared no further danger to others. They were so wrong because the story hasn't even started yet. He followed a woman. Of course, they always do it right after, bro. People are really dumb. He followed a woman who was walking home from a restaurant. Dear God, it feels good to be a man, be able to walk home at nighttime. I get scared too. It was offered her a ride on a motorcycle. This is how we met. When she refused, he twisted her scarf around her neck and pulled her into a nearby bushes and then raped her again. Oh my God, this is crazy. She reported she lived. Police initially couldn't find the predator. It wasn't until the woman spotted his motorcycle a month later the police were finally able to arrest and charge him. He was sent to California Men's Colony. So they met at the prison. Oh, this is getting deep. Where he finally met and befriended Lawrence. Oh no. This is about to get crazy. All right. Prisoner friendship together. All right. So let's see what this is about. This is the prison life. Their friendship started when Roy taught Lawrence how to make jewelry and became closer after Lawrence saved Norris from being attacked by other inmates a few separate occasions. As they grew closer, they discovered that both shared interest in sexual violence. Why didn't they just become a gay couple? I don't mean that to offend anyone. I literally mean, why didn't they just become a very violent gay couple? I don't understand. Roy had confessed he enjoyed seeing the fear of young women. Yeah, it was a power trip. But then began discussing plans to assault and murder teenage girls after they were released. The goal was to murder girls of the ages of 13 to 19. One of each age. They wanted to do 13, 14, 15, one of each age all the way up. Oh, he looks like he would do it too. Those poor girls. All right, so this is what happens when they were released from prison. Again, they both are sadistic killers at this point who are planning this stuff. All right. After they had been released from prison, they met up at a hotel to discuss their plan. Lawrence decided the best way to abduct these girls was to buy a windowless van with the doors that slide open, a.k.a. the creeper van.
People think this is where that stigma came from.
It probably the stigma of a creeper van, it might come from this story, but when I always think of a creeper van, it 100% comes from this era of killers because they were on the road. Look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They were literally in the van. I might be wrong, but I believe it was the same van the A-Team had because the A-Team had those vans. It was cool. But those vans were just popular. What did hippies drive? Vans in the back. They had the beds. When was the big killers and stuff going on? The same era. That's where it comes from. I mean, it just makes sense. And also the guys that all drove it looked like these fuckers. They all look like a bunch of redneck hippies because that's all everyone was back then, a bunch of fucking gross redneck hippies. Dear God, I hate that. I hate the redneck. That's why I don't have my goatee and stuff anymore. It makes me look too much like a redneck. I hate it. I hate it. Anyways, the way that they could pull. Okay, so they wanted the sliding door so they could pull up close, slide the door open, pull them inside without much issue or much notice at that point. They put together a makeshift bed in the back of the van, placed tools, clothes, and cooler filled with beers and other drinks. They nicknamed their van Murder Mac. It could have been a little bit more creative. Their first victim was 16-year-old Lucinda Schaefer. Is that how you say it? Lucinda Schaefer. She was walking home from church. It's always from somewhere like that. From church when she was confronted by Lawrence and Roy. They attempted to lure her into the van at first, offering weed and a ride home. Well, with hippies, that probably would have worked. When she refused, she was going to church. Hippies were not at church. They pulled up ahead, waited for her to pass by. So she and Roy spoke only briefly before he pulled her into the van and shut the door. Lawrence blasted the radio on full volume before driving off while Roy bound and gagged her. Of course, Lucinda initially was screaming, but later calmed down and did not resist. Lawrence stated she displayed a magnificent state of self-control and composed acceptance of the conditions. Oh God, where am I at reading? Conditions of which she had no control. Okay, well, she had no tears, offered no resistance, and expressed no great concern for her safety. I guess she knew that was coming after parking on a fire road. What the heck's a fire road? After parking on a fire road in the San Gabriel Mountains. What is a fire road? Look that up while I keep reading. The two took turns with the girl while the other went for a walk. Lucinda requested time to pray several times before the pair killed her. So she prayed before they killed her. That's fucked up. She just was like, all right, God, whatever this is, you're doing this. That's probably what she thought. She probably was like, she was super big into that stuff. Okay, we looked up a fire road as an unpaved side road, essentially. Yeah. Request was ultimately denied. Oh my God, I could have at least gave her that. That's crazy. Roy attempted to strangle her first, but was disturbed by the look in her eyes and ran out to the front of the van and vomited. Interesting. So Roy was not as crazy as he thought he was. Lawrence took over strangling her until she collapsed and started convulsing. Then using pliers, he twisted a wire coat hanger around her neck until she stopped convulsing. Then wrapped her in a plastic shower curtain and threw her body into the canyon. Holy shit. Lawrence told Roy the animals would eat her up so there wouldn't be any evidence. That's where they fucked up. I guarantee it. Because they put her in a shower curtain thing. They're going to find that. They found that body. I already know. Okay, wow, this is crazy. Their second victim was 18-year-old Andrea Hall, who has been hitchhiking. Wow. Guys, dear God, don't hitchhike. Don't pick up hitchhikers. Just walk. Just keep walking. Get a car. If you're homeless, just buy a house. The pair pulled over for her at the exact same time as another car slowed down to pick her up, missing their chance to initially as she accepted the other car's offer. That's crazy. But the pair followed in the distance until she was dropped off at Redondo Beach. From inside the van, Lawrence offered her a drink. Hold on. You know what this reminds me of? Right now in America, there's estimated to be over 16 murderers that are truckers. Yeah. Because they're driving around on certain highways. There's people that keep going missing, and they believe they're truckers. 16 of them working together in cahoots. That's what this reminds me of. Stop hitchhiking. Don't go to truck stops by yourself, especially if you're a female or a small guy. Inside the van, Lawrence offered her a drink from the cooler in the back of the van. She accepted, entering the van, retrieving the drink. Roy, who had been hiding behind the bedspread in the back of the van, lunged at her. She fought back, but Roy twisted her arm behind her back and gained control. All right. They then did the same thing. They bound and gagged, balled her, and tied her up. The pair returned to the spot in the same place in the mountains. They go to the same place. Lawrence raped her twice, and Norris raped her once. Lawrence forced Andrea to walk naked along the road and made her perform oral sex on him before making her pose while he took Polaroid pictures. I was waiting for there to be more like this. Polaroid pictures of the body. Lawrence killed her by shoving an ice pick in her ear, turning her body and shoving it into the other ear, stomped on it until the handle broke, and then strangled her before throwing her body off a cliff. This was all done while Roy was off buying alcohol.
Yeah. Roy came back and was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
This happened outside. It wasn't in the van.
Right. So she was killed by an ice pick and strangulation. That's crazy. Holy shit. Next, they abducted and killed 2 girls that had been sitting at the bus stop, having been hitchhiking at 13. Yo. The boys offered them a ride, and they accepted, of course. Upon realizing they were being taken in the wrong direction, they protested. Jacqueline tried to open the door, but Roy hit her on the back of the head with a bag of lead weights, knocking her unconscious. I'm assuming that these guys get arrested and they told these stories. That's how they're in such detail. Yeah. He overpowered Jackie and began binding and gagging her. Jacqueline regained consciousness and tried to flee once more, but Roy twisted her arm behind her back. So same idea. Dragged her into the back of the van. When Lawrence realized they might get caught due to the girls' struggle, they pulled the van over he pulled the van over to assist Roy, punching Jackie in the face before helping bind and gag the 2 girls. Lawrence and Roy sexually and physically abused them during the span of 2 days. Lawrence forced naked Jacqueline to walk uphill, where she was told to pose for photos again, like the other girl. After returning to the van, Lawrence then asked Norris to take photos of him and Jackie together. Wow. Both clothed and naked. The first 3 times Lawrence raped Jackie, he made tape recordings of himself doing it. Dude, I can't imagine working for the detectives and police that have to watch this stuff. They have to watch it all the way through. They have to. He made her pretend she was his cousin and told her to feel free expressing her pain. Again, redneck hillbilly motherfuckers, bro. Yeah, Lawrence tortured Jackie, stabbing her breast with the ice pick. I'm assuming it's... Where did he keep getting these ice picks? And using pliers to tear off parts of one of her nipples. What the fuck? Wow, after undergoing this torture for almost 2 days, they killed the girls. Lawrence killed Jackie by shoving an ice pick through each of the ears, then strangling her to death. Roy hit Jacqueline over the head with a sledgehammer before Lawrence strangled her. God damn. They thought she was dead until she opened her eyes, where Roy repeatedly bludgeoned her with a sledgehammer while Lawrence strangled her to death. The girls' bodies were tossed out like the other ones over that same cliff. I'm waiting to see how these guys get caught. Oh, all right. This is their final victim, 16-year-old Shirley Ledford. I almost read that as Shirley Leadfoot. Abducted outside of a gas station on Halloween night in 1979. A year after Halloween came out. The movie came out in 78. She was hitchhiking home from a Halloween party. Just fucking walk home. Or just stay at the party. Get an Uber. No, I'm just kidding. 1979. Get an Uber. No, that's fucked up. She was hitchhiking home from a Halloween party. It is suspected that she accepted their offer as a ride home because she may have recognized Lawrence, as he was a regular at the McDonald's where she worked part-time. That's quite interesting, considering that both these guys look like they would live in the back of a McDonald's. Roy offered her weed before he drew a knife and bound and gagged her. Okay, yep. Tied her up. Got it. Roy and Lawrence then switched places. Roy drove for over an hour while Lawrence tormented Shirley, recording his acts on tape. Wow. I don't understand people's obsession with this. Like, because the evidence is, I think part of it's also the chase of like having the things there to get caught. I think a lot of people, there are people that are obsessed. There are people that are obsessed with that. He began biting her, slapping her, beating her. It doesn't say biting, but I'm sure it happened. I thought it said biting. I'm dyslexic. He shouted at her, saying something, then told her to scream louder when she started to scream. He alternated between hitting her with a hammer, beating her breast, and torturing her with pliers between several instances while raping her and sodomizing her. Yes, the same thing as everyone else. Shirley pleaded to him to stop while the sound of him switching between using the sledgehammer and the pliers from the Toolbox. Okay, so that's why I just realized why they were called the Toolbox murderers. I'm so stupid. Or Toolbox killers, because they keep using the tools.
The sodomized part, though?
What?
It means like using the sledgehammer and the pliers. He raped her.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, they're using the tools on them too. Yeah, toolbox killers. Yeah. The boys then, and they filmed all of it. The boys then switched places again, letting Roy have his turn. He turned on the tape, recording it as well. He told her, "Go ahead and scream. I'll make you scream. It's Halloween." He didn't say it's Halloween. To which she replies, "I'll scream if you stop hitting me." Oh, she was okay. I see. She was trying to play smart. She screamed and continued to scream until Norris ordered her to stop. He reached for the sledgehammer. She pleaded for him not to hit her. He hit her once on the left elbow, where she pled for him to stop. He hit her 25 consecutive times on the same spot on the same elbow. Held captive for 2 hours before Roy killed her, strangling her with a wire coat hanger. Yep, same thing. Tightening it around her neck, just like the other kills. They then discharged the body on a random person's lawn, wanting to see how the public would react to the gruesome scene. She was found by a jogger the next morning. Here's the crazy thing about that. We've talked about this. I've questioned this. There have been instances where people have found things like that where around Halloween, where the decorations aren't decorations. For example, I'm blanking on it now, but there was I want to say it was Disney. I could be wrong, but there was a ride that had a body as a mannequin, and it was actually, I can't remember if it was real skin or if it actually had a person in. All right, it wasn't at Disney, but there is a story, which maybe we'll do a thing about that on another video, but there's a story about a corpse that ended up being a decoration that was a real corpse. Yeah. All right, anyways, this is how they got arrested. This is what I really want to know about, because even though all the killings are horrifically terrible, anyways, I'm more interested to see how they got caught, because these guys clearly were not. They left all sorts of loose ends. They did not care. They were only caught when Roy became reacquainted with a fellow inmate from California Men's Colony, Joseph Jackson. That sounds like a fake name. Roy told Joseph about what he and Lawrence had been doing the last 5 months, even confessing there were 3 other incidents where he and Lawrence abducted or attempted to abduct other women who had escaped and had been raped but released. Oh, so they didn't kill Okay, so there were people that got away. Joseph told his attorney, who told him to tell the authorities, so he got caught for telling on himself. It's crazy. If he wouldn't have said this, I wonder how long it would have been till they got caught.
I'm kind of curious too.
Yeah, how long this would have. Because look at Dahmer. Look how long he went. And he only got caught. I mean, they were on his tail so much, but they still didn't get him till later. He and his attorney told the authorities, and the investigation begun. Detective Paul Paul Bunyan, the guy from the story. I'm calling him Bunyan because I don't Bynum. Paul Bunyan. This is a true story, folks. Can't make this up. Investigated the claims Joseph made, matching the statements to several missing persons reports, of course, of various teenagers, girls. Roy had confessed to Joseph that he and Lawrence maced a woman, dragged her into their van, and raped her before setting her free. She reported this incident, but police could not identify the attackers. So it had already been reported. Got it. Detective Bunyan made his connection and brought her in, showing her the series of mugshots where she insightfully identified her attackers as Roy and Lawrence. Okay, so confession. On November 30th, 1979, Norris attended a preliminary hearing in relations to the September 30th rape, which was the girl I got maced, I'm pretty sure. By this stage, Norris was beginning to display visual signs of stress. At the hearing, Norris waived his Miranda rights before Detective Bunyan, again, don't know how to say his last name, and the deputy attorney questioned him initially in relationship to the rape of Robin Rebeck. So this is a different chick. Then in relation to the statements given to the police by Joseph Jackson and the evidence received from his and Bittaker's residence. Oh, they had a place together?
I actually didn't know that.
Oh, so whether that residence...
Essentially, they found all of the Polaroid photos.
That's what I'm saying. They found all the stuff. That's what they found it all at wherever they were staying. Wow. That's crazy. So initially, Norris flatly denied any involvement in the murders and rapes, even though it was all on camera. and the disappearances. However, when confronted with the evidence the investigation had compiled, Norris began to confess, although he did attempt to portray Bittaker as being more of culpable. I don't know that word's highlighted. More involved in the murders. They basically tried to blame it on Bittaker. Of course, now they're gonna go after each other. I mean, yeah, you guys got caught. And what Bunyan and Kay, I don't know who Kay is. I'm assuming this is another detective. Later described as casual, unconcerned manner. It's doing all this as a casual, I don't care. While you're like, oh yeah, this is what happened. Got it. Okay. Very psychopathic vibe there. Okay, according to Norris, the level of brutality Bittaker had towards the victims had increased each time they got a victim. Well, yeah, because he was getting a more and more of a power trip. Okay, so this is even crazier. For example, he knew the girl that they took from the church, the one that was walking home from church. He knew her when they abducted. Schaefer had lost one shoe as she had been dragged into Bittaker's van. Norris also knew part of Shirley Ledford's ancestry. Shirley, it was her, and was Hispanic, and that Bittaker had unsuccessfully asked her on a date in October 1979. So they knew that she. Oh wow.
She recently rejected him.
Yeah. So that was out of retaliation. There was a sheriff Pitches also stated that in relations to the Polaroid pictures found and the tapes, Bittaker and Norris's in their apartments. There was an apartment that they had. Police had located 60 of the young women depicted, none of whom had been harmed. So there was more girls involved that just weren't harmed. Pitches, these names are, man, so fake. Pitches also stated that the police also identified 19 of the women depicted in the pictures as being individuals who had been reported missing, and that these teenage girls and young women may well have been murdered, although Pitches did stress that they had no conclusion evidence to suggest that these additional 19 women's photographs had fallen victim to Bittaker and Norris. Yeah, I mean, they were hitchhiking. They could have ended up somewhere else. They probably weren't dead. They were probably just somewhere else or dead. One of the Polaroid pictures seized from Bittaker and Norris's depicts an unidentified young white woman along with Bittaker and Norris, and the circumstances very similar to the pictures found depicting known victims' hall lamps, so the girls that they knew. The young woman in the picture has never been identified. The photograph is indicative. Okay, the photograph is indicative. There may have been more further victims who they just haven't mentioned in the investigations. That's crazy. Oh, okay, this is what I want to know. This is them searching the mountains.
Yep.
This is what I was looking for. This is the part that I really wanted to know. All right, Norris agreed to return to the San Gabriel Mountains. This is where they were dumping the girls. In each instance, Norris brought detectives to the area where he and Bittaker disposed of the victims' bodies. Despite extensive search of the area where he stated the bodies of Schaefer and Hall had been discarded, the bodies were never found. On February 9th, 1980, the skeletized bodies of Lamp and Gilliam were found at the bottom of the canyon alongside a dry riverbed. The bodies were scattered over an area measuring hundreds of feet in diameter. An ice pick was still lodged in the skull of Gilliam. Evidence of the numerous hammer blows to Norris's head stated. Okay, so they found the ice picks and they could see the blows to the skull. February 1980, Norris and Bittaker were formally charged with murders of the 5 girls. At their arrangement, Bittaker was denied bail, where Norris's bail was set at $10,000. That was a lot of money back then. Aftermath. Bittaker granted several death row interviews following his 1981 conviction. Okay. They have 2 mugshots of them from 2018. Bittaker still looks the exact same, as fucking ugly and redneck and gross as he did. Looks like some of my fucking nasty ass uncles that I've never met, that I've seen photos of, just fucking gross looking. God, I hate rednecks. Sorry, I just hate that look. Bittaker died while incarcerated on death row at San Quentin State Prison on December 13, 2019 at the age of 79. His death was reported as being due to natural causes. Of course, these guys don't die in a terrible way. They just die. They live a whole life. Norris was incarcerated at the Richard J. Donovan Correction Facility. He died of natural causes at the California Medical Facility on February 24th, 2020. So one died before COVID, the other one died after COVID, at the age of 72. So Norris has claimed twice to the police that he deterred 3 potential victims from the van. He was like, "No, don't get in this van." Who knows if any of that's true?
Yes.
All right, so
Yeah.
I'm throwing this in there because I just found out after I'm done recording. Paul Bunyan, because I don't know how to say his name. Now I feel bad for making fun of him, knowing that this is what happened. The chief investigator of the murder, what we were just reading, the Toolbox killers, committed suicide December 1987. He was 39 years old. In a 10-page suicide note, he specifically referred to the murders committed by Bittaker and Norris as haunting him, and his fear that they might be released from prison. Yeah, so he killed himself because of it. That's crazy.
I do have more facts that I forgot to put in there for some of them that I forgot I wrote down as like commentary.
For which ones?
For what do I have? Oh, the Candyman one.
Candyman, yeah.
I put that one in there specifically because we have those every time Halloween comes around. Everybody's like, check your kids' candy, razors. That is one of the only few incidents
Ever, yeah, because that's not actually a legit thing.
There's
Yeah.
no reported cases of anyone having razors in their candy, and there has been some poisonings, but this is the only death.
Death, yeah. I'm happy you brought that up. Yes, so yeah, that's an old urban legend of the razors and the candies and stuff like that. It's fearmonger. Yeah, it's.
And I do have one more, and this is regarding the Lisk family massacre, real life Michael Myers.
Yes, the guy that shot his mom or stepmom and dad.
Not really a fun fact, sad fact, but that same night, in a completely unrelated incident, BJ's aunt died in a garage fire.
Wow. The same night, the aunt dies in a garage fire while the rest of them were being murdered by him. Are you sure they just weren't able to tie it to him? Let's be honest. He probably lit that motherfucker on fire, and that was. I mean, it's not a super relatively recent event. They could have just been like, oh, whatever. It was probably caused by this cord or something. You know what I mean? I'm sure that was yeah, I'm sure there's more to that than what they let on. Who knows though? Maybe it was an accident and she actually did burn to death. That's a terrible way to go out. All right, well, I hope this made everybody's Halloween better, because now I feel really fucking just what the fuck did I just read? I was not expecting that to get so crazy. Wow. With that being said, everybody have a safe Halloween. Don't do anything that you heard in this video. If you guys like this format of video, let me know. I would love to do more of these.
Disclaimer, we are not responsible for any deaths by cyanide.
Disclaimer, we are not responsible for any cyanide deaths at all. There's not. We were joking. We were reading. We were learning.
I was curious.
I'm not buying cyanide, I promise. That's hilarious. All right, well, I hope everybody has a safe Halloween. My favorite time of year. I really wanted to do this video. I wanted to get it out before Halloween, so I'll probably have it out within the next couple. Well, why am I even saying that? This video will probably be out on Halloween, so enjoy that. Enjoy this video. Leave a like, comment, all that stuff. Let me know if you like these types of videos. I'll keep doing them. They don't require a whole bunch, you know, unlike a lot of my other videos where I have to actually do a lot of work and stuff. This doesn't require a whole lot. So, this was fun. I enjoyed this. Was this fun? Was this cool? We liked this?
I liked doing it.
This was fun. All right, that being said, hope everybody has a great Halloween. Yeah, I'm out of here. Fuck, how do you even end one of these? I'm out. We're done. That's it. Turn the camera off. Turn the camera off.